The world he transmigrated into is filled with players, with survival already a struggle. Moreover, he became entangled with a system to become the most conspicuous NPC. The natives resent him while players see him as a thorn in their side. He needed to strive with all his might to live a good life in this foreign world while avoiding being bullied by the players. He can only turn the sufferings he experienced into the sufferings of others. He would have to keep all the benefits for himself, grow vigorously, and become an invincible boss who could never be defeated by players. This is a tale of the classic fourth calamity story while being struck by the calamity itself. He is Lin Bai, a transmigrator with a carefree appearance but an extremely cunning nature within. The moment he opened his eyes, a notification panel appeared right before him. Chief Supporting Character System. All Things Are Flawed System, God of Cooking System, Emotion System, Know-It-All Teacher System, Divine Tycoon System, Broadly Forging Good Karma System. One pop-up message after another materialized in Lin Bai's mind. He felt dizzy, his head like a computer infected by a virus, constantly loading new programs. System loading, insufficient physical tolerance. Lin Bai's entire body glowed amid the chaotic energy, warnings indicating that his physical limit was about to reach a critical threshold. Recalling his previous life, he was just a scholar, diligently reading books in the library every day. In one incident, while saving a child on the road, he was sent flying by a truck and ended up in this world. At first, he thought this was just an ordinary transmigration into a cultivation world with familiar ancient settings. He was still wondering how he would survive in this world filled with demons. He didn't expect to stumble upon such good fortune. But this stroke of luck seemed a bit excessive, as system panels appeared densely like a system error, leaving him no time to breathe. He panicked and wondered, could I possibly become the first transmigrator in history to be stuffed to death by systems? Fortunately, the loading process finally stopped, and Lin Bai let out a sigh of relief for managing to keep his small life intact. Looking at the overwhelming number of systems, he muttered, to think I was almost stuffed to death by so many systems. Even a 997 schedule isn't enough to describe my blessing. He angrily jumped onto the pile of system boxes and scolded them. Is this a system or a 360 software family bucket? How could so many download all at once? Other people just get a golden finger. But I'm practically becoming a 1,000-hand Ganyu. Being like malware is one thing, but you almost stuffed me to death and you still dare to compress yourselves back. Finally, Lin Bai discovered that among the chaos, only 4 main systems remained that he could actually use. First was the All Things Are Flawed system. There is no perfect thing in the world. Being flawed is the norm of all things. You must make everyone learn to accept flaws and get used to regrets. Novice mission. Make 10 people experience the flaw of. Reward. 9 eyes true manual. Incomplete. Next was the emotion management system. When you learn to mobilize the emotions of others, you become the master of the world. Joy, anger, sorrow, happiness, and fear. Delve deeply into the mysteries of emotions. Novice mission. Collect a pure emotion directed at you. Reward, spirit -1. The third was the chief supporting character system. Do not be the first to seek fortune nor the first to cause disaster. A tall tree in the forest will surely be destroyed by the wind. One whose conduct is superior to others will surely be condemned by the masses. If you do not compete, no one in the world can compete with you. Novice mission. Find a boss for yourself. Reward, fortune 1. The last one was the God of Cooking system. Chef, a high-paying profession. Novice mission. First, you must open a restaurant. Reward, 10 taels of silver. Lin Bai looked at the bizarre missions and felt shocked, muttering, the person who invented these systems definitely has something wrong with them. What kind of strange systems and missions are these? He irritably kicked the system box repeatedly and shouted, especially this all things are flawed system. Giving an incomplete reward is one thing, but even the mission description is incomplete, and making others accept flaws, you're just making me accept your utter lack of morals first, huh? Just as he was about to request switching to a more decent system, a voice suddenly called out from reality. Brother Lin, the voice interrupted his thoughts, pulling him out of the chaotic mental space instantly. Lin Bai snapped back to reality, finding himself sitting in a luxurious room facing a young master. Across from him sat a scholar in a white robe, known as Luo Kanwen. Seeing Lin Bai's poor complexion, he asked with concern, "Brother Lin, you look terrible. Should we call for a doctor?" Lin Bai quickly waved his hand in refusal. "Thank you for your concern, Brother Luo. I'll be fine after resting for a while. It's nothing serious." Holding his head, he thought, "I almost forgot that to make a living, I was telling stories to this young master. But that was before. Now that I have awakened my systems, no matter how strange they are, I still have to use them." While sipping tea, he calculated, speaking of which, emotions should be the easiest thing to mobilize, right? Seeing him regain composure, Luo Kanwen rubbed his hands, a hint of anticipation flashing in his eyes. "Brother Lin, since it's nothing serious, why don't we continue talking about Ning Kaichen?" Lin Bai observed Luo Kanwen, considering a suitable entry point for his task. Luo Kanwen, unaware of Lin Bai's unusual demeanor, fired off a barrage of questions. "Hurry and tell me what happened after Xiaoqian left. Who is stronger, Grandma Tree Demon or Yan Qixia? Is Ning Kaichen going to take Yan Qixia as his master?" Lin Bai revealed a meaningful smile and said, "Then Brother Luo, you'll have to prick up your ears and listen carefully." Luo Kanwen sat up straight. Pausing briefly, Lin Bai looked at the attentive Luo Kanwen and began narrating dramatically. "It is said that even after Ning Kaichen was warned by Yan Qixia, he still refused to leave, and instead stayed the night at Manhwa Temple. Then, that night, while he was tossing and turning in bed unable to sleep, a noise came from outside the house. Luo Tsongwen's eyes lit up, his body squirming involuntarily. Did Lady Xiaoqian come looking for him? Lin Bai smiled. You guessed it, it was indeed a scene of blazing passion. Ning Kaichen opened the door, and standing right outside was Yan Qixia, a muscular man appeared. Eh? Luo Kanwen was stunned upon hearing this, unable to understand why the romantic plot suddenly took such a turn. Lin Bai explained calmly, Yan Qixia felt that since Ning Kaichen remained stubborn despite being persuaded so many times, he might as well change his approach. The scholar slammed the table angrily and asked, could it be that he wanted to help Ning Kaichen save Lady Xiaoqian? A dark, twisted, and embellished version of the enchanting phantom flowed from Lin Bai's lips. No, he just felt that he shouldn't be wasteful. Luo Kanwen was bewildered. Wasteful? Lin Bai continued, after all, this kid was considered quite fair and tender. So Yan Qixia felt that rather than letting those female ghosts take advantage of him, it would be better for him to kindly accept it. The tragic screams from Manhwa Temple that night startled countless night owls. He put an arm around the scholar and asked, you tell me, Yan Qixia hadn't bathed for who knows how long in Manhwa Temple. He was a bona fide stinky Taoist priest, so how could Ning Kaichen possibly endure that? Luo Tsongwen's expression shifted from anticipation to stunned disbelief, then his face turned beet red. He was obsessed with cultivation and deeply identified with Ning Kaichen. Lin Bai's story usually made him feel as if he were living it, but this episode was completely beyond his expectations. A wave of nausea rose in his throat. Unable to endure it any longer, Luo Kanwen roared, enough, then flipped the tea table, sending cups and plates flying everywhere. He pointed at Lin Bai, stammering from shock and anger, you. In contrast to that fury, Lin Bai only smiled smugly as a system notification appeared, collected a feeling of anger directed at you, reward, spirit +1, already distributed. He thought to himself, it worked. A mere novice mission, nothing more than this. However, looking at the scholar's state, he felt slightly worried. It's just, how should I pacify this somewhat hot-headed young master? Luo Kanwen slammed the table furiously. Lin Bai, I treated you as a confidant. Why did you make up a story to humiliate me like this? Do you know my identity? Do you know the Luo family's status in Jiamu City? If you spout any more nonsense, I won't even let you leave the Luo manor. Lin Bai froze for a few seconds, but instead of fear, he began calculating. It seems a dose of angry emotion isn't that scary either, or rather, does he want to hear more of the story? Then that makes things easy. He sneered, don't be hasty, Brother Luo, of course I know your identity, so... Immediately, the system notified, negative emotion side quest activated, collect 10 doses of negative emotions directed at you, reward, spirit +3. Lin Bai suddenly slammed the table and stood up, staring straight into the opponent's eyes and roaring with momentum. And do you know who I am? Luo Kanwen was startled and stepped back, asking blankly, aren't you just some storyteller I found randomly? Lin Bai's gaze suddenly turned sharp, his tone serious. That's just my surface identity, in reality. He suddenly shouted, I am your father. Hearing this, Luo Kanwen was furious to the point of seeing stars and lunged forward. You're courting death. The system notified again, anger from Luo Kanwen, +1. Lin Bai said leisurely, I was hired by your father to get you to focus. Luo Kanwen was stunned. Focus? Lin Bai sighed and nodded, silently taking advantage of seniority. He continued, Brother Luo, you're taking the Yuanshi next year. He casually listed a few more plot summaries. Only stories are beautiful. The reality is that even with immense wealth, it's meaningless to the immortal Tao. Ning Saichen's fate is the ultimate end for ignorant fools like you. Luo Kanwen shouted in rage, Stop talking, leave, go tell my father that I won't turn back. Anger from Luo Kanwen, +1. He mocked inwardly, Little punk, you wanted to keep me here just a moment ago. With these successive gains, Lin Bai was even less inclined to leave. He looked stubbornly at Luo Kanwen. I'm not leaving. I made a promise to Master Luo. If I can't persuade you, I won't get my money. Luo Kanwen looked at him with a disdainful gaze. You just want money, right? Anger from Luo Kanwen, +1. He excitedly threw a stack of money at Lin Bai's face, declaring that he would pay double whatever his father had promised, as long as Lin Bai disappeared from his sight. Lin Bai picked up the banknote and examined it, revealing a satisfied smile. Brother Luo's Tao heart is indeed firm and admirable. I, Lin, will take my leave here. After reaping a huge amount of money and system points, Lin Bai cheerfully said goodbye. Even if the deal falls through, righteousness remains. If Brother Luo is interested in hearing stories, you can contact me privately later. Leaving behind Luo Tsungwen's bitter shout, Don't let me see you again. A huge harvest, this way, I have almost enough money to open a restaurant. Brother Luo is truly a good person, giving me both missions and money, he's too honest. Stepping out onto the street, Lin Bai suddenly noticed people rushing toward one direction as if something major had happened. He grabbed an old man to ask, What happened? Why is everyone in such a hurry? The old man replied hastily, replying to the young master, Everyone is going to see the lecture. Lecture? Lin Bai was stunned. They have those in ancient times, even in broad daylight? Seeing Lin Bai's confusion, the old man explained, The young master hasn't gone out these past few days, so you wouldn't know about the many strange things happening in the city lately. People appearing out of nowhere are causing all sorts of trouble in the city. Some are stealing chickens. Others are harassing decent women. What's more, there are even some jumping off buildings. These events have made everyone anxious, and the constables are busy out of their minds. I heard they just caught a new lecher, so we're all going to watch the commotion, taking my leave. He pondered, These behaviors, why do they feel? They don't seem like things locals would do, but rather like my own kind. Since I can load so many systems, there's no reason why a bunch of transmigrators wouldn't appear in this world. Anyway, I'll go take a look first. A young man was bound with heavy chains. He faced accusations and curses from the crowd, along with mud and rotten eggs being thrown at him. Beat him to death. So shameless, groping young girls. We can't let him off. Yet, he remained calm and composed, occasionally even cracking a smile, not taking his capture seriously at all. He still dares to laugh. I'll fucking beat him to death. The shouts of the townspeople echoed through the streets, while the soldiers demanded order as they punished the pervert causing chaos in Jiamu City. Lin Bai passed by the scene, his eyes filled with curiosity, as he observed the chaotic situation before him. Peering through a gap in the crowd, Lin Bai locked eyes with the captured young man. After a quick scan, he was immediately stunned. Above this person's head. Above the man's head, the name player ID mouse shone brightly. What the hell is that? Lin Bai blinked, looking at the man again. The name was still there. He looked toward the surrounding crowd, and a huge suspicion about the world he was living in began to form in his mind. Standing amidst the bustling crowd, Lin Bai froze, his gaze sweeping across unfamiliar faces, yet all of them seemed somewhat off. His eyes suddenly stopped, his face filled with shock. Just as he thought, within the dense crowd, a man and a woman also had names above their heads, Jingmi and Laomi respectively. The man named Jingmi excitedly commented, "Technology has no limits, you can never imagine what kind of bizarre things the scientists up there can create." They continued discussing, "Everyone has their own thoughts, so vivid and lifelike that it's unimaginable. I don't know what kind of underlying algorithm is required to support such a game." Hearing this word, his face turned serious, and a complicated emotion surged within him. "A game?" Lin Bai murmured inwardly with doubt. Memories of his previous life flashed like a short film, from the horrific truck accident to the wine jars in the shop, leaving Lin Bai confused about his own reality. Standing in the bustling streets, he wondered what exactly he was in this world full of players. Meanwhile, Jingmi and Laomi began discussing Yumao. "What an idiot! You can't log off while being detained unless you delete your account. He just had to test the NPC's bottom line. He's going to suffer." Laomi smirked. Maybe he wanted to go to prison. No matter how real it is, it's still a game. The prison might have hidden storylines. Suddenly, she noticed Lin Bai staring at them. She whispered to Jingmi, "An NPC is staring at us. He seems to be listening to us speak." Jingmi was shocked. "How is that possible? We're in a private chat, okay? How could an NPC hear us?" Lin Bai thought. So they are in a private chat? And I can actually hear them loud and clear. The two players' conversation continued. "He's been staring at us with a perverted look this whole time. Could he be plotting something inappropriate against this lady? How could he? He's just an NPC. On the bright side, this counts as being able to hear the players' inner thoughts." Lin Bai tried his best to gather all useful information. Closed beta with no account wipes, modeled after the real world, high degree of freedom, no game guides, connecting everything. He suddenly realized, no wonder I have so many systems, so I didn't transmigrate to another world, but transmigrated into a game. With a calculating smile, he decided to approach the two players to begin his plan. "Big brother," Lin Bai suddenly shouted and rushed forward with an emotional expression, startling Laomi and Jingmi. Lin Bai's sudden appearance left the two players confused, unable to understand what this NPC wanted. He thought, fooling players is much easier than fooling locals. Lin Bai cupped his hands and bowed politely, his mouth pouring out flattering words. "Earlier, I saw a beam of spiritual light shooting up into the sky in the city, and when I came over, I saw you two dragons among men. According to my ancestral physiognomy, you two are definitely not ordinary beings. Once you meet the wind and clouds, you are bound to transform into dragons." Jingmi pointed at himself innocently and asked, "Me?" While Laomi remained suspicious and cautious. "Don't just believe whatever others say, what if he's a scammer?" Then she leaned close to the man's ear and whispered, "If we really ran into one, the two of us would be completely humiliated on the player forums." Jingmi replied confidently, "Don't panic, I know what I'm doing." Hearing those insults directly, Lin Bai felt slightly uncomfortable, realizing that being cursed right in front of him without being able to retaliate was not a pleasant feeling. He pretended not to hear and continued acting with a sorrowful expression. "It's not surprising that you two are suspicious of me since I approached so abruptly, but your fates are extraordinary. I truly couldn't afford to miss this chance." Laomi shouted angrily, "Then what do you want to do?" Lin Bai persisted in bowing, expressing his wish. "I want to acknowledge you as my big brother, and serve you faithfully from now on, only asking that you lift this little brother up after you strike it rich." Jingmi was completely convinced. Look how sincere this brother is, how could I refuse such a request? "Idiot, it's an NPC, it might trigger a key quest." Lin Bai even forced out a few tears to make the act more touching. "Big brother." Jingmi also acted boldly. "Brother. Big brother, brother," the two called out to each other in unison under a radiant glow, ignoring Laomi shouting desperately behind them. He laughed inwardly. Hee hee, players really are easy to fool. The system immediately notified, "Acknowledge a big brother, quest completed, reward, fortune 1 issued." He was shocked. "We haven't even exchanged names, and it still counts as completed?" Feeling a slight change in his body, he wondered, there doesn't seem to be any change, is 1 point of fortune too little? The system continued, daily quest, an obscure nobody acting as a big brother. Following a coward won't lead to any future. The higher your big brother flies, the greater your gains. Do something to help your big brother make a name for himself. Reward, Fortune 1. Looking at the man, Linbai thought, make a name for himself? That's too easy. Resting his chin on his hand, he thought for a moment, then flattered Jingmi. Big brother, your little brother knows you are destined to soar into the sky. You're just lacking an opportunity. Jingmi was completely stunned by Linbai's words. From what you're saying, does this mean you can issue me a quest? Even Laomi couldn't believe her ears. There's actually a quest? Linbai winked mischievously and gave a thumbs up. That's right, I just want to help you, big brother. Jingmi asked curiously, what is the quest? With a heroic posture, Linbai spoke endlessly. As the sages say, when heaven is about to bestow a great responsibility upon a person, it must first test their mind and will. Hearing this, Jingmi became extremely excited. Which sage said this? It's so eloquent. However, deep down, Linbai was doubtful. He doesn't even know Mencius. Could they not be from Earth? Never mind, now isn't the time to think about this. While walking, he reassured the two, big brother, you have to believe me, I'm doing this to help you. Jingmi curiously said, I definitely believe you, but what are you? Suddenly, Linbai shouted loudly, somebody, come quick. Laomi and Jingmi were startled, not understanding what was happening. With an angry expression, Linbai pointed at the two players and declared loudly, these two are in cahoots with the flower thief. The large shadows of the furious crowd began surrounding Laomi and Jingmi. Linbai added another shock by accusing them of plotting to break into the prison to rescue their accomplice. Jingmi panicked and tried to explain. No, we're... Laomi angrily glared at Linbai and shouted, what are you doing? He pointed at them and continued, you still want to run after I caught you? Don't run. Immediately after, Linbai moved closer and whispered into their ears, big brother, I'm helping you. Hurry up and run first, otherwise we're really going to get surrounded. Seeing the two players running for their lives, Linbai even shouted encouragement behind them, pretending to be a loyal little brother devoted to his big brother. Stopping to watch their figures disappear into the dust, he let out a sigh of relief, secretly admiring the extraordinary escape speed of these players. A satisfied smile appeared on Linbai's lips. It seems for my system quests, I'll have to come to you guys. The system notified. Anger from Laomi and Jingmi +4. Emotion system, collect 10 instances of negative emotions directed at you, 7 out of 10. Reward Spirit 3. Do something to help your big brother make a name for himself, completed, reward Fortune 1. Chief supporting character system, a big brother must be capable. Have your big brother learn a specialty, incomplete, reward Fortune 3. Jingmi and Laomi ran ahead, while behind them a frenzied crowd gave chase. Linbai, hidden within the crowd and eager to stir up trouble, shouted, assist in catching the criminals, the city lord offers a hefty reward. Behind the crowd, Yumao, heavily restrained, stared in stunned disbelief at the escaping players. His face twitched violently. Who the hell is this? I just wanted to experience life in prison, not rot in jail forever. Seeing Yumao's strange expression, two nearby soldiers pressed their swords against his neck and shouted, don't get any funny ideas. Inside, Yumao felt helpless. I'm doomed. Unable to hold it in, he shouted angrily in despair. Who on earth is framing me? Linbai stood leisurely on the street, looking at the system panel before him, muttering, what a pity, there's no activity yet for the quests from the all things are flawed system and the god of cooking system, but with so many players, I'm not worried about not being able to complete them. As Linbai wandered aimlessly down the street, the constables and enthusiastic citizens who had gone to catch crispy rice and sticky rice returned in small groups. Linbai stopped someone and asked, why are you back? What about those two who broke out of jail? Don't mention it, they disappeared after turning a corner, the person replied regretfully. Linbai thought, disappeared suddenly? Did they log off? That makes sense, they are players after all. The people on the street continued discussing. As expected of notorious thieves, they do have a few tricks up their sleeves. From now on, Jiamu's city won't be peaceful. Linbai rubbed his chin and muttered, it seems if I face players in the future, I'll need to figure out a way to restrict them from logging off. The all things are flawed system and the god of cooking system need to get moving too. An hour later, he entered a shop in Tonke Alley. Lin Bai approached a real estate broker and casually placed a large gold ingot on the table. Seeing the gold, the broker's eyes lit up as he eagerly asked, "What are you looking for, guest?" He got straight to the point. "I want to find a place to open a restaurant." The broker smiled widely, becoming even more attentive. "All right, no problem." After a while, the broker brought Lin Bai to see a building. Looking at its exterior, Lin Bai froze for a few seconds before speaking. "It's really impressive that you managed to find such a masterpiece in the massive Jiamu city." The broker laughed. "Guest, look at what you're saying. With the money you offered, only our brokerage could find an entire building for you. Anyone else could only get you a small storefront at best." As soon as he finished speaking, the signboard fell apart, making it look no different from an abandoned warehouse, leaving Lin Bai speechless at this so-called masterpiece. He smiled bitterly. "It is big, I'll give you that. But it's both remote and rundown." The broker said with a smile, "The aroma of good wine fears no deep alley, and being rundown has its own perks, 100 taels, and even the land is yours. This spacious plot of land in front is all." "All right then, I'll take it." Lin Bai interrupted the broker's rambling. "You really want it?" The broker widened his eyes in shock. He continued, "Yes, find me some craftsmen, I'm going to renovate it." The broker ran off grinning. "Wait a moment, I'll go find them right now." Standing in front of the house he had just bought, Lin Bai muttered, "After all, I'm doing this for a system quest, not to actually run a business. While waiting for the craftsmen to arrive, let me think about how to design it." "What?" a shout from an old man echoed. He was Zhang Chun, a well-known carpenter in the city. He pointed at the signboard lying on the ground and asked, "You want me to make a signboard like this?" Lin Bai replied calmly, "That's right, exactly like this." The two men with him, Feng Lu and Zhang Shuatong, began whispering, "Is there something wrong with this boss's head?" "I think so, otherwise why would he buy this haunted?" Hearing this, the broker beside them gave a warning glance. "Hey! Over here!" Zhang Chun stepped on the signboard and shouted angrily, "Making a signboard like this is ruining my own reputation." Lin Bai said calmly, "Oh, I get it." He revealed a smug smile and provoked, "Your skills just aren't up to par, right?" Immediately, Zhang Chun flushed red with anger, and the system reported gaining 1 point of anger from the carpenter. He continued, "I can pay extra if you can do it." The carpenter grew even angrier. "Do you think I'm the type who can be bought with money?" Lin Bai casually used his trump card. "I can increase your wages by 21.3%. If that still doesn't work, then I guess I misjudged you." You have a good eye for people. Can you do it?" "I can." "Great, the signboard is sorted. As for the indoor layout, I also have specific requirements. The tables in the shop can't be standard squares either. Every table must either be missing a corner or have a hole in the middle. The missing corners should ideally be in different places. And the holes shouldn't be round. The 4 table legs can't be the same height. One leg must be shorter than the other 3. And their thickness must be different. The stools must be the same. Custom make a batch of bowls, each with a different chipped edge. And chopsticks, each with a different length and thickness, make them all out of iron. As for the paint job, give me some mismatched color patches." This pile of requirements left the craftsman dizzy as if suffering from vertigo. In short, it has to be repulsive. No, it has to make people experience the essence of flaw. The system kept notifying, depression from Zhang Chun, Feng Lu, and Zhang Shuatong +3. Collected 10 instances of negative emotions, 10/10, reward, distributed. Make 10 people experience the essence of flaw, 3/10. Lin Bai threw out 3 gold ingots and urged, "Hurry up and get to work." He rubbed his chin and muttered, "This is how money should be spent. I really must thank young Master Luo for the tip. But speaking of young Master Luo, my noble benefactor, I have to mention another person. I wonder if my good big brother is online yet." As soon as he finished speaking, 2 streaks of light suddenly appeared in the sky, falling downward. Seeing it, he wondered, "Is that?" 2 dazzling beams of light tore through the sky, shooting rapidly toward the ground. They landed directly in the center of Jiamu City. While Lin Bai was busy decorating his shop, Jingmi and Laomi quietly logged on in a secluded corner. Jingmi complained, "After playing games for so many years, this is the first time I've been played by an NPC." Laomi asked, "So what do you want to do?" He replied angrily, "What do you think I'll do? Of course it's..." Suddenly an NPC appeared from behind, pointing straight at them and shouting, "The notorious thieves are here." Immediately, the crowd surged forward and surrounded them. "Catch them, quick, go to the magistrate's office and report them, reward of 50 taels of silver." Jingmi quickly raised 2 fingers to his forehead and chanted, "Log off." Laomi also strained and chanted, "Log off." And just like that, both of them disappeared simultaneously, leaving everyone stunned. Where are they? How did they disappear? This again. In some office, a young office worker stood up and slammed the table, shouting, "Why is it endless, when heaven is about to place a great responsibility on a man, but this hardship is way too long?" He angrily typed on the keyboard, muttering, "No way, I need to go on the player forums. This game is definitely realistic, but the difficulty is way too high." The screen displayed the game's logo, Xianxiao World. On a certain forum, top comments, "The most awesome game in history, complete with all 5 senses, sight, hearing, smell, taste, and touch. Entering the game is like transmigrating to another real world. The most frustrating game in history. It's bad enough dealing with 996 in real life, but I can't even find a job in the game. No, I have to give feedback. I want the game to make changes." Just as he was about to post a complaint, he suddenly paused upon seeing a new notification appear. Huh? Official private message. Driven by curiosity, he moved his mouse toward that mysterious message. Official private message. Before breaking the rules, you must first understand the rules, adapt to the rules, and only then can you create the rules. Wishing all players a happy gaming experience. After reading it, he hesitated slightly. This statement. Instead of posting a complaint, he decided to return to the game to go head-to-head with that NPC. Message exchange between Laomi and Jingmi. "Going online again? I can't stand it anymore. Aren't you afraid of being thrown in jail and having your account locked? I think we might have triggered a chain quest. Really, think about it. Why would an NPC frame us for no reason? Also, have you checked the player forums? This is an absolutely realistic world. Alright, then let's wait until the people blocking us disperse. There shouldn't be anyone left, so let's..." Back in the game, Jingmi was stunned when he looked at the wall in front of him. What the hell is this? A wanted poster? It's way too ugly. Laomi almost fainted upon seeing her own wanted notice. The two looked at the names above their heads and muttered, "Damn, they even have our names. We're completely red-named now. Who did this?" Of course it was me. Yuma was curled up in a corner of the prison, his face bruised from being beaten. He shouted angrily, "I was wrong, those 2 are my accomplices. Somebody come quick, I want to be a tainted witness, go catch them. If no one comes I'm deleting my account, hey." Jingmi sighed helplessly, although he ended up deleting it in the end. Laomi also pondered, if we get caught and thrown in, we'll have no choice but to delete our accounts and change characters. Then she turned to her companion and asked, "What are you doing?" He replied, "We can't get caught, and we can't log off either. If we delete our accounts and start over, this quest might be gone." Laomi was surprised. "So you want to pretend to be a beggar to avoid the wanted poster, and then find that little brother of yours?" Jingmi stood up, his eyes filled with determination. "Exactly. I want to see what kind of trial my little brother has prepared for me." Late at night, at Lin Bai's newly purchased house, he turned to the carpenters who were leaving and said, "Wait, there's only a little bit left. Aren't you going to finish before you leave? I can add more money." Their faces darkened, sweat pouring down as they hurriedly tried to leave the place. Seeing no reply, Lin Bai shouted irritably, "The essence of flaw is what I show others, don't show it to me." The group of craftsmen were too frightened to even look back. The broker beside them trembled and said, "Guests, please don't make it difficult for us, we can't work tonight." Lin Bai said calmly, "I knew there had to be a problem with this place being so cheap and desolate. But even if there are local bullies collecting protection fees, it's impossible for them to come at this hour. The broker stammered, "It's not local bullies. It's ghosts." He began explaining, 3 years ago, there was a thunderstorm. Lightning struck this house. At that time, your shop was still a cotton workshop, and a family of 3 lived here. The strange thing is that the building remained completely undamaged after the lightning strike, but the entire family of 3 died. Later, strange noises would always come from inside, making people panic, so they had to hire a Taoist priest to come and exorcise the evil spirits. That Taoist priest said his methods were limited and he could only trap the ghosts inside. After that, they could only use time to slowly wear away its malicious energy. As time passed, no one dared to live nearby either. That's how our brokerage was able to acquire the deeds so cheaply, but it ended up stuck in our hands. Fortunately, we had you, young master. The broker looked at Linbai with deep gratitude. Well then, until we meet again. After saying that, he ran off as fast as he could, leaving Linbai standing there in confusion. Only then did Linbai break out in cold sweat, his face darkening. I was too careless. He looked back at the dilapidated, cobweb-filled house in the darkness and muttered, thinking it might be local bullies or a problem with the housing quality. I actually forgot this is a game. How the hell could a game not have ghosts?